Hello. Wonder if that annoys anybody. Or if they find it endearing when I make a weird noise when I say hello. Hey! Happy Friday. Fuck yeah, Friday. It's Fuck yeah, Friday. That's a new thing. I've got a giant mason jar of whiskey water. That is Red Label Johnny Walker mixed with water. A lot of water. It's a rough scotch. So, yeah. Hey, I've got something to show you. Check this shit out. Boop. You see this? This shit? Look at this. Look at these pictures. Look at this shit. This is my, from my deck out back tonight. Do you see this fucking Aurora Borealis going on back here? Yeah, this is all just from my porch. No biggie. Come on. That's crazy. Look at this. Fucking hand of God coming down. The pinks and the greens. I mean, those are the... You can see the stars being lit up in pink. Like, that one's crazy. That's just like straight pink. I mean, it got so bright sometimes. It was just like alien as shit. Especially seeing the... You know, the... What's the... Like the streak, you know, going through. Like, stereotypical Aurora Borealis behavior. And it would change. It was just such a strange thing, because this is my first time seeing it in person, by the way. I've never, you know, I've only ever seen it on TV, because I watch, you know, Life Below Zero and the fucking, what is it? The Last Alaskans and shit. You know what I mean? The Alaska shit. And, yeah, so I mean, I've seen videos of it, and they always kind of do time lapses, and it's moving really fast. And I don't know, maybe it's not always a time lapse, but at least here in Michigan, it was very slow. Like, it would fade in and out, almost to a point where you wouldn't know it was changing until it got really bright, and you think your eyes are just adjusting. It's so weird. And it kind of looked, everything looked a little foggy. I mean, there was clouds, but like I could see the stars, so I knew it wasn't really fog. It was just like the conditions for the Aurora Borealis. It was just, I don't know, crazy. I've always wanted to see it in person. Sorry about that. Yeah, I've always wanted to see it in person, and it was cool. It's still happening. I mean, it's going to be happening all weekend, apparently. It's supposed to peak out between midnight and 4 a.m. I don't know what that means. Maybe it's going to be, like, doing crazy, like, laser shows or something. Oh, yeah, here's my whiskey water. I highly suggest this. Yeah, because, I mean, I know it looks like a lot of whiskey. I promise you, this is not all whiskey. It's not like a big jar of moonshine. Yeah, I got kind of tired of, you know, having get-togethers, family parties, and whatever. Having people over, and everybody's drinking beer or, you know, champagne or seltzers or whatever like that, and they always have a drink to drink, you know, and they're fucking And it doesn't matter how fast they drink, you know, just grab another one. And then I would tend to just be drinking a neat scotch or whatever. And I'd have to just, you know, baby sip it to make it last. Otherwise, I'd just get fucking, you know, I'd black out or whatever. I mean, I never do that, but like I'd have to in order to maintain drinking the same amount of time as other people. Yeah, during pool parties and stuff like that, I just take some Red Label, maybe do, I don't know, an eighth of the glass Red Label, and then I just fill the rest with water, ice water, whatever. And it's just, you know, it's basically water with the great taste of scotch, which is good to me. I like that. I like the taste. It's better than water. You know, this is how... You guys have ever heard of grog? You know, pirate shit? Get me some grog, you know? A round of grog for everyone. Yeah, grog was just water and, you know, rum, right? Or could have been other alcohols. Pretty sure it was mostly water and rum. But it was mostly water. Yeah, because, you know, water was shit back then. It was all bacteria ridden, and there's so many diseases, and everybody was dying, especially when you're out in this fucking middle of the ocean, right? You're not stopping off to get water very often. So they would kill the bacteria with their fucking booze, and they just pour it in some water, and then they'd have their grog, which is very watered down booze, or booze very a little bit of booze in their water or whatever. And yeah, so it's grog. I'm a pirate. Deal with it. Grog, grog, grog. I like calling it dirty water. That's always good too. Oh, I came up with a good name actually for... I had like ice water and I put scotch in it. It was whiskey blast or something. Whiskey chill. I don't know. I forgot what it was. It was a funny name. Which was great during hot days in California by the pool. You know, you have some very cool, refreshing water, but it gave you a little buzz. So, I'm talking a lot, and you don't know who I am. Or you do. But if you don't, that's me. In the website behind me, Scott V. Adrian. That's my book, Orbem. It's the first book of the Hammonian Chronicles. And it's available on Amazon. You can head on over to this handy dandy website known as Amazon and pick up a copy. You got Kindle, audiobook, paperback. It's Kindle Unlimited as well. So it's free. Look, 0, free. Just get it for free. I don't care if you get it for free. Just get it. And yeah, it's a first book. I'm a brand new author. I'm not too worried about it being a 4.2 out of 5. The fact that I stay over 4 stars is a win. But yeah. My stream is about Orbem in general, but mostly, as the title of the stream and the category suggest, I'm building a video game. And that would be Orbem Explore. Hello. That's Graham. It's the main character of the book. He's the main character of the game. And the game's just about him going through the story, basically. You know, it's not just him in the book. It's him and 3 other scientists. They're his friends. And they end up in a fantasy universe. So this book takes place starting on Earth, takes them to the fantasy universe, and then all the things that ensue there. Now, I have been reading book 2 lately, the past 4 streams, 1 chapter, because I am turning it in 4 days to the line editor, and fortunately I didn't get a lot done today, so I'm still a little over halfway done. So ideally I'd like to finish this chapter and read another one. Now I don't know, after that I'll be working on the video game. So if you're watching this in the future and you see this screen with the book and you either don't want spoilers because you want to read book 2, which comes out July 1st, or you don't give a shit about the book and you just want to see me work on the game, then skip ahead until you see the game come up, because it's going to look just like this, you know, maybe scrolled a little bit, but just like this until I'm done reading. So yeah, anybody who jumps on the stream, I'm going to put in the chat right now. Hey, reading another chapter of book 2 to get ready for the line editing in 4 days. I will be working on the game after. Okay. Put that in the chat. I'm going to put that in the YouTube chat as well. Hey, reading another chapter of book 2 to get ready for the line editor. The line doctor. No. Line editor in 4 days. I will be working on the game after. Boop. Alright. Very cool. So, let's get to it. Now, we are... Where are we? We are in Cannith Village. Okay. And, basically, the elven army has shown up. And they are, you know, they want something from the Cannith. So, a big old elven army has shown up at the gates. And, Yona, Jeannie, Corinder, and John, and Corlin. Corlin is the Duke of the Elves. Are trying to figure out what's going on. So, Corinder, Jeannie, John, and I followed Corlin's lead and headed toward the Cannith Village front gates. It was a strange feeling, but in all my time in the village, I had never been to the front gates before. We usually stayed deep in the village, or Graham would transport us to our destination. My thoughts went to Graham. Where had he gone, and what had happened to him? Seeing his detached limb gave me flashes of reality, where he was gone for good, and that was all we had left of him. As I ran next to John, tears developed in my eyes. Wonder if we'll need to start fighting. John began to say, but caught a view of my face and stopped. You alright? I sniffled sharply and wiped my eyes before replying, fine. Just overwhelmed by all this chaos. Look how large these iron gates are. John's brow wrinkled, but he ignored my feeble attempt at hiding my emotions and continued forward. I appreciated his understanding. The 3 groups of Cannith merged into an intimidating wall of ferocious fighters. Too many spaces. Yeah, and by the way, while I'm reading, I'm going to be editing. You know, I'm getting it ready for the line editor, so there's some things I need to shorten, some things I need to rewrite. some characters I have to write out, so, okay. The village was surrounded by thick fallen tree stumps, banded together so the only view of the outside forest was through the colossal iron gates. Between the bars I could see glimpses of elven soldiers standing calmly. Vorsish suddenly ran from the group at full speed. "What's going on?" I asked at a close-by Coldfoot. "Don't worry, don't know, miss. Elves want to talk." "Vorsish is going to get Jarok, I suppose," the Coldfoot remarked. John grabbed Corlin before he could push through to confront the elves. If there were a chance they weren't seeking him in the village, then it was best that the elves didn't know of his presence at all. Soon, Jarok arrived, followed by Vorsish. His stride was impressive for his age and size, bringing him to the head of the group swiftly. His steely glare was narrowed at the entrance, more serious than I had ever seen. "Open the gates!" Jarok called out to Harem, who quickly began spinning a wheel of wooden rods towards him, causing the large gates to open with a deafening creak. Doop, doop, doop. The old peppered. Salt and peppered. Kenneth quickly began spinning a wheel. As more of the elves came into view, Corlin ducked a bit nervously, and I took it upon myself to stand on a nearby stone to get a better look. Harem stopped opening the gate early, leaving it only partially ajar so Jarok could approach. As he walked to the opening, so did an old mage, in a light gold-colored robe with gold and intricate markings embroidered on the edges. His hair was white from the top of his head, but faded to black as it reached its full length past the mage's shoulders. He walked with his head tilted up, but with a warm smile as he met Jarok between the two groups. "What's he doing here?" Corlin asked as he leaned his head to look at the mage. "Valdag, you look well, my old friend." Jarok greeted the mage and held out his giant clawed paw. I said hand. Clawed hand. Yeah, it's a hand. Valdag reciprocated the gesture with his thin, pale hand. "As do you. I apologize for the abruptness of my visit." "Abruptness I can handle. Half the Elven Domain Forest army I could do without." "What is the meaning of this?" Jarok asked as he looked back and forth at the soldiers in the distance. "Again, you have my apologies. The need for such force is precisely the reason I have come to meet you. If possible, I wish to discuss matters of the forests." Valdag proposed, causing Jarok's eyes to squint. "Forest matters should be discussed by the domain's leader, not the king's advisor," Jarok countered. "Our leader is indisposed, unfortunately, and I no longer advise the king, but have been tasked with maintaining order this region instead." "Order in this region instead," Valdag said with a bit of hesitation in his voice. Jarok stroked his chin a couple times. "I wonder." There was a short pause, then Jarok continued. "Very well. We have much to discuss. Let us go to Paxholm." The tension faded, and Jarok allowed a few soldiers to accompany the mage as they walked to the large tree where Jarok's office was. The groups of Cannith dispersed to their clan's various areas, so Corlin, John, Jeannie, Corinder, and I headed back to Corinder's house until we could bother Jarok for more information from the important meeting. "What do you think that was about?" I asked Corinder as for Frosh. Here we go. Act Corinder. "Don't know. Seeing all the elves gave me the willies. I think Grandpa and that old mage have met before," Corinder said, and put his clawed index finger to his chin as he looked up. He put his clawed index finger to his chin as he looked up. Corinder suddenly looked back at me. "Wait, did you lot find Graham?" In response, I looked to the floor and shook my head with slumped shoulders. Alright, these... Damn it. I gotta cut more. Okay, elves doing here. What are more elves doing here? Wait, did I say Jeannie was with them? Yeah, she was there. What are more elves doing here? Kalia approached and asked with sparkling, with wide eyes. It appeared Corander's mother was quite disturbed by this news. They didn't seem to be worried about my location. Valdag must be keeping control of the things in my absence. Kind of nice, actually, Corlin said with a smirk. Do you know about anything happening in the forest that would warrant such a meeting? I asked Corlin, who pursed his lips for a moment. Well, the goblin attacks were growing more frequent. We were discussing a lack of information in that regard, Corlin surmised. It wasn't long before Jarok's meeting ended, and both Coriander and Corlin were summoned to Paxholm. John and I decided to accompany them. We hoped Jarok could help us locate Graham, so John brought his arm with us. Jeannie was keeping... This has got to go. We can just ditch this. We rose in a shaky elevator and walked down the hall to Jarok's office, where we entered the massive weapon-wounded door to see Jarok behind his desk, holding his face with his hands. You wanted to see us, Grand Clan Leader? Coriander asked, alerting Jarok to our arrival. Yes, Corey. Oh, and you brought John and the lovely Iona. Good. And you must be Duke Corlin. Jarok said and gestured for us to all sit down. Did your meeting with Valdag go well? I asked, trying to start the conversation. I'm quite interested in this meeting as well, Corlin remarked. It went surprisingly well. As you all probably know, the relationship us Cannith have with the elves is tumultuous at best, Jarok began. That could be said for most relationships with the elves, I suppose, John added, causing Jarok to laugh shortly, and Corlin's eyes to widen. John added. Jarok began to laugh shortly. Well, if it's shortly, then he wouldn't have begun, so... Boop, boop, boop. Jarok laughed shortly, and Corlin's eyes widened. Relax, Corlin. You're the exception, I suppose. I tried to ease Corlin's heart. Jarok's smile fell, and he looked out of a window with a stern gaze. The goblins are becoming more of a problem than we expected. More of a problem than even the elves expected. It's Cormyr, John said abruptly. Jarok flinched at the words, but remained calm. Corlin turned his head sharply in John's direction with a trembling lip. What did you say? He asked John. The Marpelians told us Cormyr is building a goblin army, John explained. That name is ancient. I can't believe he survived, Corlin said in a manic tone. Oh, he survived all right. Put us all through hell, he did. Almost killed Miss over here, Coriander said to the nervous Duke. If what you say is true, we're in for much more trouble than the elves can handle. Cormyr Veldoro Bestium was said to be the most powerful mage of his kind, Corlin said, causing my interest to peak. I thought he was your kind, I asked with an insinuating tone. Yes, he was technically an elf, but he came from one of the Immortal clan. One of the original lineages from the first elves on Orbem. Their blood remained so pure that they were said to be timeless and had horrifying magical prowess. Corlin continued his explanation with shaky hands. Ah, Sienna would love this. Wish Graham was here to bring her here. To bring her by, John correctly added. Who? Corlin asked, but we just waved our hands for him to continue his explanation. Of course. Oh, of course. Well, the rest is legend, really, so don't quote me on it. The Immortal Clan members lived long, so they rarely produced more to avoid population issues, I suppose. Maybe it was just their ego. The other clans saw them as a threat due to their magic power and longevity, so from what I have heard, they were all exterminated during a power struggle by my great-uncle's generation. Great-uncle's generation. Great-uncle. Probably great-grandfather, because his uncle is the king right now. So if your uncle is the king, then your great-grandfather would be... So your grandfather would be your uncle's dad. Your great-grandfather would be their dad. Yeah, we'll say great-grandfather. By my great-grandfather's generation. That makes sense. Cormier was a child at the time and avoided the attacks, I guess, and he grew older. And as he grew older, he became an integral figure in Orbem politics, overseeing the Nocturne Forest. Corlin stopped his story and began fiddling with the bottom of his shirt. What's wrong? Is there more? I asked with my eyebrows pushed together. Well, the war happened. The Nocturne Forest was sealed, and honestly, I thought, or hoped rather, that Cormier might have been killed until just now. I could tell Corlin was even more nervous than he was letting on. The subject of Cormier always brings up more questions, something I believed Cormier would love. This is most illuminating. Thank you for the information, Duke. Thanks for that information, Duke. Valdag actually had come to the same conclusion as your Myropilian sources. Due to the strength of our enemy, he wishes to form an alliance between the Elven Forest domain and our own Blackclaw Forest. Allies? With the elves? Why? Coriander stood up and asked in surprise. The source of the attacks are from the areas near the Forbidden Forest. Given our proximity to that wretched place, they know we can monitor and defend the forest better than anyone, Drok explained. Why doesn't the king send more soldiers to quench the goblins' uprising? I asked, and Drok looked to me with a smile. Why indeed? Lorenthal is no fool, I assure you. Cold and calculating, but no fool. I imagine he stationed Valdag the extirpator. I love how I put a word in there I can't read. Valdag the extirpator in their force to stop this before Greater Orbem are aware of the incidents, Jorok explained and began tapping his claws together. I do not disagree with your sentiment. If we have not called for reinforcements, there must be good reason. I have sent letters to my uncle about the severity of this situation, so he is well versed. Alright, I didn't finish that. Corlin remarked, or retorted, or answered, whatever. What exactly do they expect from the Canath in this alliance? John asked the fidgeting clan leader. Drok looked up at John and paused. Just before John was going to ask his question again, Drok answered, yes, the Canath will be on scent duty every day until the attacks cease. Valdek expects a few Canath to join each squad surveying the forest to track any goblins nearby so they can catch them before they cause trouble. Sounds a bit silly. Can't they just whip up a spell to track goblins? Using us like some tool? Coriander said in a pout and crossed his arms. Unfortunately, species-specific tracking spells are not so simple, Corlin interjected. Corey, my boy, you're young. Drok began to explain and then turned to John and me. And you two are new. Not sure if you all know, but goblins started the Orbem War. So goblins have become a sign of war. While no one knows for sure what happened during the last days, I'll be damn happy to take matters into Canath claws instead of letting those underhanded elves deal with it again. Drok looked to Corlin with wide eyes. No offense, of course. Corlin gave a shaky smile and cleared his throat before replying, of course. You think there's a chance to change the dynamic between your species' relationship with the elves? I asked and squinted in Drok's direction. Possibly. What's more important is keeping an eye on the elves' conduct. Now, take some time and digest this information. Corey, we'll need you to lead a squad of Grey Toughs soon. Stay sharp, my pup. Corlin, I appreciate all the cooperation you can give us. You appear to show a level of morality I'm not used to seeing in your kind. Why am I not finishing the fucking things? Droke complimented. Your compliment is appreciated. Thank you for discussing this matter candidly. I will do all I can to make sure our people work to accomplish our common goal. Corlin said, then stood up and bowed to Droke. Droke, we actually have a request. I said, and looked to John. While I wanted nothing more than to get answers about Graham, I would have been lying to say I was terrified of what the answer might be. That sentence doesn't make sense. While I wanted nothing more than to get answers about Graham, I would have been lying if I said I wasn't terrified of what the answer might be. There we go. What is it, my dear? Droke asked sweetly. Grandpa, we have to find Graham! Coriander suddenly yelled in a panic, and Droke's eyes grew large. What do you mean? Where did the boy go? Droke asked quickly and looked to John, noticing the bodiless arm in his hands. He looked to John, noticing the bodiless arm in his hands. Isn't that the BFB's arm? Oh, no, he's not. We don't know for sure. He transported away from us without this, John said and placed Graham's arm on the desk. You have to track him, Grandpa, Coriander pleaded. We don't even know if he's still in Orbem. Please, Droke, can you help us? I also pleaded. John and Graham told me they used Droke to tell that we were in Orbem at one point. This would be a massive step in getting him back. Of course, let me see, Droke said and picked up the arm, then walked to a window and gave the arm 3 deep sniffs, then gave the air outside of the window 3 more. He looked to the arm and paused. Do you smell him? Coriander asked, but Droke didn't answer and instead walked over to a window on the opposite side of the room and repeated the ritual. Droke's ear twitched suddenly, and he took 3 more breaths outside of the window, even deeper and more intense than before. Well? I asked, clasping my hands together. He's in Orbem, Droke said plainly. I jumped at John with a spontaneous hug as elation showered my body. Knowing it was in Orbem was a relief I did not know I needed. Can you tell where he is? Don't tell me his location is blocked by the elves like last time, John said with frustration. No, his location has not been blocked by the elves. But you must understand, even a nose as keen as mine has its limits. With the faintness of this trail, I can only assume our friend has gone farther than anyone in this village, Droke explained and took his seat, placing the arm back on his desk. What does that mean? I asked, as worry began to sink back into my heart. I mean, he's beyond my reach, either past the deadly drylands or maybe out to sea. He could be anywhere as far as I'm concerned, Droke added with deep regret in his voice. Coriander walked over and put his hand on his grandfather's back. Nothing to worry about, Grandpa. This is BFB we're talking about, right? No matter what hardship might meet him, he'll fight and find his way through whatever mysteries are out there and get back home before we know it, Coriander said in his theatrical way. His anxiety of Graham's whereabouts must have gotten to him, to be using his reality escapism. Reading is hard. How would he have transported so far away? Somewhere he's never gone, I thought as a million scenarios pelted my mind. It was looking more and more as if we were at the mercy of Orbem and good fortune. Magic was no help to us. The Blade program was no help to us. Even if we set out to the sea or drylands at full speed, we don't know which direction to go. We had to sit and wait for Graham to come to us. John grabbed my hand and squeezed tightly. He kept staring at Graham's arm. We need the Harmonians, John said suddenly. Droke cocked his head to one side, staring in John's direction. What do you mean? I asked, not getting why the Harmonians were the answer. I wondered why the Harmonians were the answer as John turned to me. If we can get in contact with Myropelia, they should be able to talk with Graham. He said Calderon talked to him. You know, in his head. If we could do that, maybe Graham can help us help him, John tried to explain, but I was having a hard time understanding his plan. Okay, how do we contact Myropelia? There must be something in the barracks we could use. I'm sure the Harmonians had to have contact with each other somehow. Even if the tech is thousands of years old, if those security bots are up and running, I'm sure we could get the communication system back up in order, John suggested. It was a logical plan, but possibly a long shot. Either way, I agreed to go along with his idea since I wasn't ready to give up. We agreed and went back to our individual homes to pack for our longer trip. We didn't know how long it was going to take to search the barracks for this mystery communicator, so we planned to stay there until we did. Everyone was devastated when we told them about Graham, but lucky for us, everyone was also motivated to join the search. Everyone would be Genie. So that statement probably doesn't make sense anymore. Okay. Maybe I just say Genie. Well, Genie already knows, right? Okay, let's just remove that. Since not everyone was a sorry, just checking that. Okay, since not everyone was as high velocity inclined as John Corner and me, we traveled at a lower. Well, everyone is just Genie now. Since Genie was not as high velocity inclined as John Corner and me, we traveled at a slower pace until it became too dark to carry on. We decided to set up camp, and Coriander jumped into action as usual, setting up the tents and building a mighty fire for us to cook dinner. One other member of our group I found interesting to observe was Corlin. You would think living in a forest would prepare him for outdoor experience, but he looked quite uncomfortable as he tried to find a place to sit or lay. A few noises in the canopies caused Corlin to jump or stumble on a number of occasions. Those ninks are in heat this time of year. Best keep a sharp eye. Might try joining you in your tent if you're not careful, Corner warned. And Corlin's lip trembled a bit as he nodded. The night came and went. Yeah, I see what she's talking about. That, like, they basically camp for no reason. Like, just jump into it. Yep, I get it. So I can probably shorten this. Travel on slower pace until we can carry on. The night came and went, and after everyone woke up and ate, we packed up our full camp and began the rest of our trip to the barracks. I believe I forgot what it was like to carry baggage. Graham's retrieval points were so convenient. Again, my normal interactions with life reminded me of Graham. I was beginning to become irritated. It was beginning to become irritating. Without thinking, my pace quickened and I took lead. Jeannie sped up to walk by me. She began copying my stride and arm movements, then my facial expression. She looked anxious and irritated. A wave of embarrassment washed over me in recognition of my own appearance, so I slowed down. "What's wrong, lass? Upset about something?" Jeannie asked sweetly. "What?" I inquired. "Oh, no, I'm fine. A bit tired is all." I tried to avoid the subject. "Alright, lass, you talk to me when you're ready." We exited Blackclaw Forest and could see the tall rectangular urban landmark uniquely placed among thousands of bones and war relics. Suddenly, one of the mangled chariots erupted in a ball of flame. "Woohoo! Everyone stop!" I called back to the group, and they all stumbled as they halted quickly. "What is it?" Coriander asked, and John ran to my side. Before I could answer, the flames began to die down, and everyone now saw the subject of my alert. A body appeared within the dying flames, and for a moment I feared the worst, thinking that Cormir was presenting himself to take advantage of Graham missing. Valdag? Corinder said, from behind John and me. Whoa, I got a whole extra page here for no reason. Boop. There we go. Boop. Hold on. Yep, that's it. Alright, we finished the chapter. So now I gotta finish this chapter. Let's go! Chapter 12, The Hammonians. So now we are back with Graham, the one who got transported away without his arm. He is now in the northern mountains, and he's in the troll tunnels trying to get to the Hammonians. The whole series is called the Hammonian Chronicles. These are the Hammonians he's trying to get to. He's trying to find his way back home. You know, everybody's trying to get Graham back. They're trying to get him back. He's trying to get back. All right. So the tunnels were quite quiet, except for the occasional sounds in the distance of clanking or pangs of various tools or carts rolling. For the second time, I had been put in an awkward situation with an Orbem woman. This time was not in a bed, luckily, but the seconds felt like hours as the female troll and I stared into each other's eyes. Her beady dark brown gaze was full of fear as her large lips quivered and her knees shook. There was no way around the scary situation I put myself in. The only thing I could do at that moment was act. Here goes nothing, I thought, and I took a deep breath. What floor? I asked as nonchalantly as possible. Huh? The trollette responded in confusion. We'll just go up then. You tell me when to stop. I continued my laid-back attitude and engaged the green gem to begin our ascent. Yeah, this is one of those long ones. I continued my laid-back attitude. With a hover of my finger, I engaged the green gem to begin our ascent, then leaned against the wall of the elevator and bobbed my head a bit. The troll was too stunned to respond, and my behavior only exacerbated her bewilderment. It was almost comical at that point, so I just kept rolling with it as my nerves settled and confidence grew. The fact I wasn't immediately squashed by the giant troll was a win. So, what's your name? You been working here long? I asked while maintaining my comfortable posture. Truna, she answered and began fidgeting with her large hands. Truna? Beautiful name. How was lunch? I didn't get a chance to get any food on my way here. Good. Truna kept looking outside the elevator and back at me. Stop here, please. I disengaged the green crystal on the directional controller and the elevator stopped. Truna quickly lifted the bar that secured us inside and left me alone without another word. Unfortunately for her, that was also my stop, so I exited and caught up to her. She didn't suspect I wasn't... Yeah, let's see there go. She didn't suspect I wasn't supposed to be there, and I would blend in better with a local, so staying close to Truna was the smart decision. Sorry, I was so rude back there. My name is Graham. I hope you don't mind me walking with you. I'm also headed in this direction, I said to Truna, who was twisting and pulling at her large orange burlap-like material dress. Okay, she continued with quick, short answers. We walked in silence for a moment, and I could see her looking over in my direction on more than one occasion. She most likely would have been happy to come across another troll to help her escape the awkward encounter, but unlucky enough for her, the new tunnels were just as empty as the lower level. Are you a Hammonian? Truna braved the question, which made me feel a lot more comfortable. I am. Just heading back up to HQ on top. I've never seen a Hammonian before. You're much smaller than I imagined, Truna commented, then looked forward and smirked. Yeah, I'm sure. Well, I can't say we all look like this, but more or less this is what you can expect height-wise. What do you do in the tunnels? Oh, today I'm on lift operation. It's only my second time, so I'm slow. The chief says I'm a natural, though. Truna began to calm and open up a bit. Yeah, that's fine. Very nice. I bet it's not that easy to handle. I've never been good with large machinery. Suddenly a larger troll came into view and I noticed Truna and me. Hey, Truna, you're heading to the lift? Yeah, Chief, on my way, she answered, and the larger troll looked at me. Is everything alright? The chief asked me. No problem here. Truna's been keeping me company as I head back up, I answered with a bit less confidence than before. The chief's dark, bushy eyebrows quirked. But he was drawing back and cleared his throat. Oh, good luck today. I'll be around soon to check on you. Soon to check on you, yeah. The chief said to Truna and went back to his business. Letting out a breath I've been holding in, each of my successful encounters made me think I could make it to the top without issue. That confidence was immediately challenged when I heard the chief engage a communication device and the words Harmonian and unauthorized popped into the conversation. Hey, Harmonian! An angry chief called from behind Truna and me. It was lovely to meet you, Truna. Good luck today. I'm sure you'll do great, I encouraged the troll, who smiled at me, but then frowned shortly after as I took off at full speed away from her. Hey, get back here! You're not supposed to be here! The chief screamed and began chasing me. Sorry! I called back, but kept running until I saw my turn and dashed to the right. Now out of sight, I looked for a place to hide, but it was nothing but rock walls for as long as I could see. It was easy to hear the chasing troll behind me, even though we were quite far apart due to my surprise takeoff. That's kind of confusing. It was easy to hear the chasing troll behind me, even though we were quite far apart. Doop. With my mental map... Damn it. Losing too many words. With my mental map, I noticed another turn up ahead, but I knew I'd have to lose my pursuer to avoid any confrontations when reaching the Harmonians. Instead of the left, I should have been taking. Instead of the left I should be taking, I kept running straight until I saw an opening on my right. The opening was just about my size, so I dove headfirst through it and knew the troll couldn't follow. To my surprise, I began to fall and noticed the opening I jumped into was some sort of metal chute that led to a conveyor belt. As I slid down the chute, I twisted my body to change my position so that my feet were first. Then I landed hard on the belt. The conveyor belt was bringing large rocks to a series of machineries that would make them smaller and easier for transport. A massive hammer slammed down over and over, crushing rocks in front of me. Off the side of the belt was a 100-foot drop below, so my only hope was to time it right and get past the hammer. It slammed 1, 2, 3, then had a short pause as the gears above made another circle and let the hammer made another circle and let the hammer hit again. I don't know if I need that and actually. It's made another circle, letting the hammer hit again. 1, 2, 3, pause. 1, 2, 3, pause. Then I was a few yards away when the hammer hit. 1, 2, 3, pause. And at the pause, I leapt past the first hammer right as it slammed behind me. To my dismay, a second hammer was close next to the previous. The new hammer's smash pounder was solid. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. The pause was gone, and the drop on either side of the conveyor belt tripled in distance. So there was no way I was jumping off before the hammer hit. My only option was run. So that's what I did. Like my life depended on it, which it did, I began running opposite of the conveyor belt's direction. It wasn't the fastest speed, but I was constantly having to dodge oncoming rocks, so it took a lot of focus. My constant running was not a long-term solution as my legs were already getting tired. Oop, thought I was gonna sneeze. The first hammer wasn't doing a great job of minimizing the rocks consistently. Oh my god. Come on, just sneeze. There we go. As I was anticipating having to make another impressive jump over the mammoth stone, I lost track of the smaller ones before it and ended up tripping and smashing my face onto another smaller rock. It rocked my jaw, making me lose balance and focus as I continued moving closer to the second hammer. Before I knew it, I was a couple feet from a loud smash and showered by a spray of Stone. Dust. That was crushed, leaving me under the raising hammer. This is it. This is how I die in Orbem. How stupid, I thought as the hammer finished rising above my fleshy body, ready to be smashed like a grape under a bowling ball. No! I screamed at the hammer and dove forward as the hammer dropped. As the hammer dropped. While my body cleared the distance, my cloak caught on a sharp rock crack in the hammer's exterior. Just a sharp crack in the hammer's exterior, choking me and catapulting me backwards onto my head. Face up, I was now staring at the hammerhead rising above me once more with wide, terrified eyes. As the hammer began to fall hard and fast onto my face, I panicked and shouted, "Tarka!" causing a light blue bubble to surround me right as the hammer made impact. The bubble immediately popped and slightly delayed the hammer's collision, giving me just enough time to roll to the side and fall off the conveyor belt, then catch the edge with my only hand. The hammer slammed, crushing the spot I was milliseconds before, and now I had a new issue, dangling off the side of the rickety system, trying my hardest to pull myself up before plummeting to the deep chasm below. "Help!" I screamed. More hammers came and almost smashed my fingers as I clung for my life. The metal belt went on farther than I could see, and I knew I could only hold myself for a minute longer before my arm gave out. "Help!" I cried out again, and I heard a new noise other than smashing hammers on rock. It was some other sort of machinery wailing as it moved over my head and back. The tool looked like a giant claw suspended by a steel cord and held out by a long beam like a massive fishing rod. The rod ended at a cage with a familiar-looking troll controlling it. "The lift! Truna! Hey, Truna!" I screamed with all my might towards the troll controlling the lift until she noticed the sound. Try as she might, she couldn't see where the noise was coming from, since I was hanging off the back side of the belt on the opposite side from where the lift was. If there was any shot of me getting out of that scenario alive, I had to get her attention. So I took a few deep breaths and used every ounce of strength I had to pick myself back up onto the belt. With a guttural roar, I pulled myself as high as possible and swung my left leg up onto the belt. My foot caught the edge of the belt and I scooted it up until my leg was on top. After rolling my body onto the narrow metal band, I caught my breath for a moment. Before I had a chance to think, I heard another horrifying tool coming ahead of me that was not a hammer, but instead a spiked barrel mounted in place to further crush the stones into gravel. "What kind of cartoon death machine is this?" I complained loudly, and Truna must have heard me because she looked in my direction and waved. "What are you doing? That's dangerous!" Truna called out from her lift cage. "I know! Can you help me out here?" "You're not supposed to be here!" Truna continued our shouting conversation as I ran away from the death barrel. Our shouting conversation. Whatever, that's fine. "I agree! Get me off this thing!" I shrieked in terror. Truna hesitated and swung the lift. Truna didn't hesitate. You go, Truna. Truna didn't hesitate and swung the lift claw in my direction, then began lowering it until it was just in reach. She opened the claw slowly, and I took the chance to jump inside, leaning up against the left mouth. Is that what it's called? Left mouth? Yeah, probably. Left mouth. And pushed my body tight to the side with my feet on the teeth. Truna closed the claw mouth, and then I began rising and swinging away from the rock crusher. The lift mouth opened up again, and I was now on solid ground where I collapsed onto my back. Oh, that was so scary. I'm so tired. I said to no one while breathing heavily as I heard loud stomping approach me. I said to no one. While I was breathing heavily, I heard loud stomping approaching me. "Are you alright?" Truna asked as she leaned over my pitiful body. I just looked at her and let out some shaky laughter, causing her brow to furrow and head to quirk to one side. After that, Truna helped me up and I impulsively embraced her thick, furry leg, then held her for a moment. At my touch, I felt Truna tense up. Then she patted my head carefully. There, you're all right," she said, as I let go, and she smiled at her. You saved my life. I can't believe it. Thank you so much. I expressed my gratitude genuinely. She had no reason to help me. Our short interaction was awkward and possibly detrimental to her position. For all she knew, I was a criminal running around the tunnels murdering trolls for fun. Look, you need to get out of here. If the chief finds you, you'll be in worse shape than on that refiner, Truna warned me. I need to get to the top. I really need to speak with the Harmonians. Where's your chaperone? Can't they get you back? I always heard Harmonians needed a guide to roam the shafts. Alright, Truna, you don't owe me anything, but the truth is, I'm trying to help a couple trolls get unbanished, and then get myself back home in the south. If you could get me back to where we separated because of the chief, I'd be extremely grateful. I know the way from there, I pleaded with the already very helpful troll. She looked at me with a wrinkled forehead, then looked down before answering. Okay, fine. But if anyone shows up, you're on your own. I really need this job. Awesome, let's go, I said, and we began walking down a corridor away from the lift site. After a minute of walking... So much space. After a minute of walking, I could tell Truna wanted to say something, since she kept glancing in my direction and opening her mouth before turning away again. What is it? I asked. Sorry, I was just wondering which trolls you were getting unbanished. I met them in Lurith. You might know them. Huron and Geron? The disgraced council members? Truna asked in shock. I guess so. Seems like it just pissed off the wrong people. Not sure how disgraced they are. I'm gonna talk to the Harmonian leader and straighten things out. I see. Well, I think that's really nice of you. No one speaks up for the trolls, especially not a Harmonian. You must definitely not be from around here, Truna said with a tinge of sadness. That's too bad. The trolls all seem to be intelligent and caring. Except for that chief of yours, I guess. Even Yura has a kind soul, if not a bit quirky. You really think so? Truna asked with sudden emotion, as if about to cry. Yura's my cousin. Everyone's so mean to him. I just hate it. I just hate it. Yeah, well, people can be cruel to something they deem as different. Oh, I recognize this area. We're here, I said excitedly. Thank you so much, Truna. I owe you my life, so really, Huron and Geron owe you their lives. I'll make sure to put in a good word for you. Get you a raise or something. Truna smiled, and I shook her finger with my hand, then began to jog in the direction my mental map pointed me. There was some fresh water dripping into a small pool down one shaft that I took advantage of to satiate my thirst and hunger. By doing so, I was forced to avoid 3 more workers by hiding in various carts and boxes, leaving me cut and bruised due to the harsh landings and sharp stones. Finally, the last elevator I would need appeared, and I carefully entered, making sure this time to look around and wait a few minutes to avoid any approaching trolls that needed a ride. That final elevator looked as if it didn't get much use. That was good news for me, as it must have only been used when meeting with the Harmonians. So my guess was there wouldn't be any more unwanted troll interactions. As Sharon explained, the mechanism to go up in the elevator were crystals embedded in a panel just like the first one. The difference was that these crystals would not work on their own. I pulled out the key Huron gave me and inserted it into a slot. I pulled out a key Huron took with him. Huron hid before being banished. And inserted it into the slot. Yeah, let's not do a key. Next to the green crystals were a 9-point grid of blue crystals. Huron knew the combination to unlock the lift. So, Huron told me the combination to unlock the lift. So I entered it with perfect accuracy. 9 point. Huron told me the combination to unlock the lift, so I entered it with perfect accuracy. Here we go, I said to myself and engaged the lift, then began my final ascent. How would the Monians react to me? How would they just kill me? Maybe I wouldn't be able to meet them, and they would just leave me locked up in the tunnels. 1,000,001 thoughts rushed through my head, but my final vision was Iona. Her smile and voice played over in my mind, and my determination to return was solidified. No matter what happened after that point, I was going to get home, even if I had to slaughter a bunch of Homonians and steal their portal to Myropelia. The elevator shuddered to a halt, and I was shaken out of my murderous thoughts. The tunnel I ended up in was short and led to a large steel door with intricately carved patterns on its borders and wonderful sheen. There was no door handle or knocker, and I didn't see any indication of a control panel or crystals embedded anywhere that could be used to open it. Guess I'll knock, I said to the door, and then tentatively rapped on it 3 times, with hollow metal pangs echoing through the tunnel. Silence fell after the echo ceased, and I put my ear up to the door to check if I could hear anyone coming to answer my knocks. It was dead silent, and I wondered if anyone was around to hear me. So I waited a few minutes. "Hello!" I called out to the door. "Delivery!" I tried the new tactic, but still nothing happened. Just as I was about to look for a rock to pound on the door with, a loud pop rang through the tunnel, causing me to jump and turn around with a fast-beating heart. Around the non-hinged, handleless door, a border of light and smoke, or some other white gas, expelled. Butterflies filled my stomach as I never thought of my first interaction with an Orbem Homonian. I realized at that moment just how dirty and crazy I looked, not to mention the fact I had one arm. It didn't matter what I thought as the door began to slide to the left, exposing the opening, with blinding lights filling the entire tunnel. A figure emerged at the center, shadowed by the glow of the interior light being... "Who is it? We don't have any meetings scheduled today," a firm and serious voice spoke from the indistinct body in front of me. "Hi, I'm Graham," I said with a squeak, as the tunnel filled with more light and my eyes adjusted to the brightness. I could finally make out the person in front of me. I said with a squeak. A boop. As the tunnel filled with more light and my eyes adjusted to the brightness, I could finally make out the person in front of me. Dressed in clean white clothes and immaculately groomed dark hair with milky light soft skin, I marveled at the man in front of me. "What's a Graham?" the perfect man graced me with his beautiful baritone. "No, my name is Graham. I'm a Homonian like you." Though I knew I was nothing like him, I tried to explain myself. The man stepped forward and squinted in my direction. "A Homonian? What are you doing out here? What happened to you?" "Oh, right, it's a long story. Do you think we could talk inside? I'd love to get out of these tunnels." The man looked at me up and down, then behind me for a moment before nodding and walking back into the bright doorway where I followed. As my eyes adjusted further, I could see we were in a pristine white hallway. I don't like using pristine because I use that for people's names. Immaculate. White hallway. The beautiful Homonian man stopped abruptly and held his arms out. Emasculate? No. It's immaculate. There you go. His arms out on his sides, resulting in a beep and a shower of fog fully covering his body. Something told me I would need a much stronger fog to completely clean myself that day, but I copied his motions and enjoyed the delightful minty aroma from the fog, and continued to follow my leader through another doorway. This room was expansive and full of steel tables covered in various lab equipment. It was very sterile, with shining metal floors and spotless walls. It reminded me of the barracks if it was well maintained and 1,000 years younger. 10 or so Homonian scientists were hard at work performing unknown experiments and procedures, and I noticed a few doors on each wall opposite the one I came in. Looks like you'll need the Vestum, my Homonian guide told me, though I knew what he was, as though I knew what he was talking about. Yeah, probably, I attempted to act as if I did know what he was talking about. He pointed to the right, where I saw a white 3-foot by 3-foot square on the floor. Guess I'll stand here. As I stepped inside the square, confirmation beep sounded with a laser began... the hell? As I stepped inside the square, a confirmation beep sounded, and a laser began scanning from my head to feet as a familiar feeling of scraping pressure followed the laser, just like in my Arpelia when I received my robes. Vesta must be what they call that machine, I thought as I watched my cloak dirt vanish in an instant. A slow smile grew on the Homonian that brought me in his shining... What the fuck? I can't read this. A slow smile grew on the Homonian that brought me in, as his shining eyes locked on. Yeah, it's like it just doesn't flow. It doesn't make sense. I thought as I watched my cloak and dirt vanish in an instant. A slow smile grew on the Homonian that brought me in. His shining eyes locked on. Then the Vestum finished giving me a makeover. Locked on as the Vestum. This makes more sense. A slow smile grew on the Homonian, then brought me in. That brought me in. His shining eyes locked on as the Vestum finished giving me a makeover. Perhaps the specific Vestum only worked on Homonians. This guy might have still been cautious of my identity. Not that I blame him in my state. Some of the scientists began noticing my presence after the Vestum confirmed its completion with another beep. My new clothes weren't like the ones I received in my Arpelia. Instead, I was in a perfectly fitted pair of white pants and long-sleeved shirt with matching shining white shoes. The material was similar to my robe, so it's possible they had modified their Vestum for personal style. Sorry, I didn't catch your name, I asked while trying to make my empty right sleeve look less weird. I'm Crawdon Yorshul, the lead operations manager in the research wing of the temple, Crawdon answered plainly. The Homonian was very serious. It was impossible to tell if what he was thinking or feeling as he watched me tie my empty sleeve into a knot. Crawdon, great. Thank you for coming to get me. I was worried I'd have to go back the way I came, I said with a short, forced laugh. Wow. Crawdon's expression didn't change. He stared at my left arm for a moment, then his forehead wrinkled a bit before he called out to another Homonian wearing what looked like a white bulletproof vest and helmet. Crawdon spoke to him like I wasn't there. What do we use if the captive only has one arm, I wonder? Captive? The leg shackles will have to do. Here, you can use mine, the new Homonian said and handed Crawdon a white cube with a red crystal embedded in the top. Shackles? Crawdon approached me and placed the cube at my feet, then engaged the red crystal. Am I missing something here? I asked, but was met with the feeling of my ankles tightening as if someone was grabbing them. The white cube now had rings of electric current materializing out of each side of it that surrounded my legs. The current restricted my stride, making it difficult to spread my legs wider than a couple feet. Okay, I'm a captive in shackles. I got it. Come with me. You'll need to be interrogated. Hold all questions, Crawdon proclaimed and began walking. I scuffled after him and waved goodbye to the scientists, who were now all staring at me with raised eyebrows. We went through a door on the right of the room and walked down a hallway to an elevator. Like the upper levels of the barracks, there were no indentations on the walls or windows, and everything was controlled by advanced touchless control squares. The elevator was silent and quick, bringing us Do I need to comment it? The elevator was silent and quick, bringing us to another empty white-walled hallway. No, I guess not. Can't you guys hang some art or something? I commented, but didn't get a response. Crawdon placed his hand at a random point on the left wall, and a circle of green light glowed from resulting in a door-sized piece to retract, in leaving an opening to a small room with a metal chair and thin cot. Having a seat, the security administrator will be... Oh, have a seat. The security administrator will be in shortly to ask you questions, Crawdon said in the same monotone, then ushered me to the chair where I sat. Thanks. I'd like to see what kind of technology you've been working on. Hope to meet you again, I said with a bright smile. Crawdon frowned at my response, showing some rare emotion. It appeared my kill him with kindness routine was causing confusion, which was comical for me. As my captor left, the door shut behind him, leaving no indication that there was a door at all. The room had nothing, including a lack of a toilet. It was possible I just didn't know how to activate the toilet, but I was lucky I didn't have to go to the bathroom. A couple hours later, I was practicing my one-handed push-ups when the door suddenly opened, and I fell over at the abrupt noise. A female Harmonian in a similar vest to the person that gave Crawdon the shackle cube walked in. She was looking at a green rectangle about the size of a standard piece of paper that was projecting a few inches above a small white cube in the center of her palm. Graham? The lady asked as I stood up. Yes. Age? 33. Thank you, hold still. The Harmonian woman held the white cube that was in her hand and pointed it at me, then began raising and lowering it in front of my body until it beeped. Can you tell me what's going on? I asked, hoping it was time for questions. You're being detained until we figure out your origin and intentions. I mean, you could just ask me. That would fall under the pretenses that we trust your word, she answered quickly. You got me there. All right, I complied and waited for further instructions. The administrator glanced up at me from her holo display and paused for a moment, as if expecting more of a fight. When I didn't indulge her expectations, she continued. Your scanning output confirms you are indeed Harmonian, but there is no Graham in our colonization attendance records. Where did you come from? Marpelia? The woman asked and closed her holo display, then looked at me with narrowed eyes. I'm from another world, Earth to be exact. More recently, I came from the southern regions of Orbem. Me and my colleagues have been staying with the canon in Black Claw Forest, I answered plainly. It seemed unnecessary to lie about anything. If these Harmonians were anything like the ones I met in Marpelia, they would be capable of understanding my highly complex backstory and come to the logical conclusion that I was telling the truth. She quickly engaged her palm cube and the display reopened. She swiped and poked with practice ease, and I could see a map of Orbem appear. She zoomed in on Black Claw Forest until Black Claw Forest was visible. Then she spoke a few times, and the map zipped over to the barracks. I see there is an ancient port station near Black Claw Forest. Did you use it to come to Orbem from Marpelia? Port station? There's a portal from Marpelia at those old barracks? Yes, it appears so, though it should no longer be in service, she said and began searching up some more records and scrolling through pages of data. Like I said, I came from Earth, not Marpelia. It's in another parallel universe to Orbem, I tried to explain, and the security admin looked up at me with one raised eyebrow. She then looked at my missing arm, seemingly disregarding my parallel universe claim. Is this new, or a birth defect? She asked, pointing to my knotted sleeve. New, courtesy of the Elven Prince. That simple statement immediately changed the mood in my tiny cell. The security admin began furiously scrolling and poking at her display and read a few different pages of information. Someone will be with you shortly. Wave at the back wall if you're in need of the lavatories, she said with a shaky voice, and quickly left me alone. Through the closed door, I could hear her running. Uh-oh, maybe being honest was not the way to go. After giving the wave gesture a shot, I was relieved to see a small room's bathroom feature worked fine. As the panicking security admin said, another person came soon after. Not just one person, but 6 Harmonians strapped in full white shining armor like a bunch of helmetless stormtroopers. I raised my hands in the air and asked, "What did I do?" But the guards didn't answer and instead motioned for me to follow them. We walked down the hall and made several turns and rode 2 elevators before stopping in front of a pair of 20-foot tall and 10-foot wide white doors. There was no separation in the center, so I wondered how it opened. The 6 guards split into 2 groups of 3 and stood on either side of the door, and one of them shouted, "The prisoner has arrived!" Prisoner? I wouldn't say that, I commented, but was ignored as the large door's opacity began to lessen until it looked as clear as glass. Inside was a massive room with a long table lined with chairs and other various seating areas around it. There was a lone Hammonian man at the head of the table with his hands clasped together and elbows out on the tabletop, looking as if he was praying with a worried expression. Unlike all the other Hammonians I had met, this one's clothing resembled the Myropilian's white robes with intricate gold details the most. "Enter!" The same guard that shouted commanded, and I looked at him with my head cocked to one side. "Are you gonna..." I started to ask him, pointing at the clear door. One of the closer guards leaned towards me and whispered, "Just walk through." My eyebrows shot up and I leaned toward the helpful guard and whispered, "Thanks." Nothing really surprised me anymore, so I just stepped headfirst into the thick piece of glass, expecting to break my nose with a hilarious clunk sound. But instead, the door was not solid at all. It felt more like a bubble and stretched around me until I popped through. The door suddenly became solid again and no longer see-through behind me. Pretty cool tech. Maybe a bit unnecessary, but I said to myself, but I wasn't by myself. The access point actually maintains the room's sanitation levels at 100%, the troubled-looking Hammonian said from his seat at the long table without looking at me. "Ah, interesting. Is someone going to start explaining what's going on?" I asked with a tinge of frustration. Still in my leg shackles, I was starting to get annoyed by my treatment. "You must be Graham Milford," the man stated, causing my eyes to widen. "I never told anyone my last name. Who are you?" "Sorry for all the confusion. Yes, we all know who you are. You've been quite busy since returning to Orbem." "Returning?" The man continued. "And my name is Doran, leader of the Orbem Hammonians and former head of the Orbem Order." Bum 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 bum. We did it. We made it through chapter 12. Woo! Okay, cool. That's good. That's a pretty solid amount of reading. I definitely need to do a lot more. I'm gonna have to knock some out this weekend, but for now, I think it's time for the video game. What do you think? What is it? 12:30? Yeah, let's get in on it. So we're gonna continue the NPC auto walking path. So if I show you, you see how Forno now, the orange guy, he's walking automatically on repeat. So now I have the ability to set automatic walking paths for NPCs, which I'm going to need for the first level or the beginning of the game. But I need to do a few things. I need a trigger point, and that'll be what triggers when they do their walking path. And then I need an option for repeat. Like him, he's repeating, and I don't want to have that be always. I want them sometimes to, I want to be able to just trigger them to walk somewhere. And then I guess there's a few other things, but mainly what I need now is the ability to trigger it once a cutscene is done, which luckily he has a cutscene, so I could do that. And then I need to add an option to repeat it and not just default it to repeat. So let's do that. So this is what causes the repeat to happen. It's right here. Basically, I run through his junk and then I reset it to 0. Me resetting it to 0 is what causes it to repeat. So instead, what I want to do is do else if true equals repeat path. So we'll add a conditional like this, right? And then we'll get that from the data set. So const repeat path equals npc data set repeat. And this is going to be a checkbox that I need to add now. So let's do that. Okay. So that will be in the meta box. Let's add a new checkbox. What do I have for checkbox? Collectible? Yeah, let's just steal the collectible junk. This will be explore repeat. And we'll call it repeat. Okay. Very cool. And then in the meta box, we need to add the new feature, which is going to be a checkbox. Boop. And it's only going to be if it's a character or whatnot. So walking path, we have speed here. Let's add repeat next to speed. Okay, now we got repeat. Let's do explore repeat. And yeah, if you're confused by what I'm doing, I'm working with custom fields in WordPress that I have defined myself. I do not use ACF, so all of these are mine, including my repeater fields, which I have to set up for the walking path. Alright, so we got repeat. Cool. I did call it repeat. Yeah, I did. Okay. And now let's add it to the save function, which should be y'all. Wait, is this? Yeah, this is normal. Okay, so walking path, breakable. Let's just copy this, and we'll call it repeat. And a boop. And explore repeat. Cool. And then we'll add it to the list here. Repeat. Oops. Repeat. And then we'll call it repeat. Great. And I think that's it. I think we're good to go. Now I just need to use it. So let's go to the explore class. Let's go where data speed is, and we're going to add the repeat data point now, which is data repeat. If I'm going too fast, feel free to ask questions. And we got repeat. A boop. And then, ooh, that was too far. Let's go to collectible. Yeah, whatever, it's the same shit. Yeah, right? By the way, any music you hear in the background of my stream is mine. I recorded it, or it's part of my band. And so if you like anything you hear, feel free to ask. A lot of it's available online. Some of it's too old. And I think we're good. Alright. Now, this should be good now. So now what should happen is I should refresh and he should only do the path once because I haven't set repeat for him. So let's check. Okay. Welp. Let's make sure we default repeat. Oh wait. There's something special, right? Oh. Got it. So I'm doing it like that. Or I only add it if it's exist. repeat equals true. Okay, so if repeat, then data repeat equals true, just like data breakable equals true. Okay, and then here I got repeat path. I spelled everything correct. Oh, none of these have fucking semicolons. What am I doing? I think I'm a cool guy who doesn't need semicolons. Oh, okay. I don't even know if I compiled. Why is this not... Why am I getting errors here? Oh, whatever, it's just lagging. Okay, let's try again. Okay, he's still repeating. Let's double check what's going on here. Maybe I don't exactly know how I set up repeating. Alright, let's go to 4 now. And it has data speed, yeah, so it doesn't exist. So, if true equals repeat path, which it does not, then set it to 0. This should work. Maybe we should double check what this is getting. Yeah, because it's going here. Whatever, saying top and left. Oh, we're always setting the top and left. That is a problem. Wait, why am I doing that? Because I have to set this regardless, I guess, but they should always... Yeah, this is better. I do have to set it redundantly like this, but I have to do that because it's either meets that criteria or it meets that criteria. I can't just put it at the bottom because then it won't get hit. Whew. We got this. And then if this works, I'll click the checkbox. We'll see that that works. By the way, I apologize for how shitty my stream quality has been lately. I don't know why. Like, I'm not doing anything different, you know? Computer's just trash for some reason. A boop. Let's push you back. Continue. Okay, well, he's not moving at all. Okay, well then something's wrong. I mean, I don't think he... What I definitely need to do is not trigger this until the game starts. So this shit needs to go somewhere else. Where is it start game? Engage. Yeah, it's at the top. Hold on. Up. If it exists. Doop da da doop doop doop. And then if I start it, let's start the game. Engage. Nope. Oh, here it goes. Here we go. Alright, now I can add this. Cool. And this. Move NPCs. Great. Great. Alright, so now this should only start when I click the start of the game. So I should be able to see him do his first little run now. So let's see if that works. No? Okay. Well, we know this function is getting hit. And the only issue I can see happening is it goes through this and it's not hitting either of these, which doesn't make a lot of sense. But let's see what we got here. So if the path array length, so that means how many points of movement, is -1, is greater than the current position, which would be 0, then do it and add to it. Otherwise, do it and change position to 0. If repeat path is true. Because this is, yeah, that's the whole logic. Condition is always false. Why is this always false? Repeat path. Wait, what? Condition is always false since types boolean and string. Oh, got it. Sorry. You're very smart. Yeah, right. I mean, I want it to be false, so that doesn't change what I'm doing, but good to know. Alright, so the problem I'm having here is, why the fuck is position and path not working out? Let's see what we get here. Okay. Ugh. Okay, now we're gonna start and see what happens. 2. Why are they 2? What? Why would it start at 2? No wonder it's not working. Wait, what the fuck? Position is starting at 2. Position, oh, no, that's right. Position should start at 2. And, okay, that's correct. Okay. Yeah. Position should start at 2. Fuck me. Okay, I need to change the check then to next position. That's the only way I'll get it to do this. Alright. Yeah, because I changed it because the regulate transition speed wasn't working. Because it was, the distances were at the wrong place. Yeah, so next position, which starts at 0. Right, yeah, we're good. Pop. Yeah, next position. Yeah, see, because I'm even setting these at next position. Okay. Hey, Shell Studio. Thanks for the raid. Kidding me? 4 people jumping into a WordPress-based video game. I love it. Thanks for the follow, too.
Shell Studio just followed.
Welcome. Yeah, good time for my OBS to give me trouble and start lagging like crazy. So, welcome. I have a console error. Those of you just joining, I'm Scott V. Adrian. Working on a WordPress-based video game, which means I'm building a game engine in WordPress. This is me here. It's the game is based in Orbem, which is my sci-fi fantasy series. That is a book available on Amazon. It's part of the Harmonian Chronicles. Book 2 comes out July 1st. But yeah, what I'm mainly working on stream is this game. So working on the mechanics right now to start getting the levels working. So yeah, if you have any questions about WordPress programming, I'm a website programmer by trade. I've been doing it for 20 years. WordPress programming specifically for about 15 or 16 years. Worked for Disney, Warner Brothers, Universal, building websites for them, enterprise level WordPress sites. And yeah, just been doing it a long time, so plenty of knowledge in the whole ecosystem. Been a manager, been a lead, been an associate. What the fuck? Okay, so position's not working here. And right now, we're trying to work on the NPC moving path. So I set up NPCs to have automatic walking paths, which are in the editor here. So I got these custom fields here that you'll see above my head. And yeah, I can see him right here. So these are all positioning points that this dude Forno is going to move. But I am having issues with this. Wait, where is that position? Oh. What am I doing wrong here? We have the regulate transition speed function. By the way, this is all in vanilla JavaScript. Server side is PHP, so this entire site's made in, the front end. The whole game is controlled by vanilla JavaScript. I got the walking speed. So the main error is coming from undefined in the oh, okay. So it's because I'm trying to get the left of the path array. Oh, so position is being set incorrectly. Why is that? Because we got the path array -1 is greater than next position. Oh. And then we're setting this. Shoot. Yeah, I think I can't do that. I need to go back to what I was doing originally. Wait, what? Yep, that's fine. But what I was doing originally was setting this. So what I need to do is change and add a separate logic for setting his path. Okay, so this needs all to be in a separate if statement. Basically, if reset path. This is still can just be an else. Okay, that's good now. So this needs to be true, and the current path needs to be... The current path needs to be... I mean, the position... In order to set this... Right. Right. So if repeat path is not true, no, if repeat path is true and the position is greater than, the current position is greater than the last position point, no, because I want to go to the end. So go 0, 1, 2. And then if repeat path is not true, I want to stop. Okay, okay. So then basically, I need the path, you know, length minus 1, because length doesn't care. Path array length minus 1 is greater than position. See, I think this is where I ran into the issue, is next position. Yeah, I think it's better if we separate this out, because it's the same logic I was doing before, but I can't have it in the if-else statement of whether the position is adding or being 0. Yeah, because I don't care. I just need to know that the next position is less than the, you know, how many positions there are, and the repeat path is true. Because then I will reset his stuff. Otherwise, I'll just keep going. But then won't it fuck up his path? Won't it make it 0 then? And then restart? And then it'll go... Oh, but that's position... Let's see what this does. I'll have more information once I see this work. Yeah, and by the way, any music you hear in the background is me, one of my bands, or some music I've recorded inspired by Orbem. So if you like any of the songs, a lot of it's available online. Okay, well, he's deciding not to move. No error, but he's not, this is not getting met. So next position should be 0, because this equals that, correct? And 0 is definitely less than that. So, what the fuck? What is the problem? Oh. Shit. That's right. This is stopping because it's not going to be true. Okay, so it can't be true. Repeat path only matters once I hit the last position. So if next position does not equal the last position, and true equals repeat path. No. What the fuck? If next position, this is the most confusing logic. if the next position does not equal the end, and true does not equal repeat path, then move them. Sorry for the delay. To wait out 10 minutes. I know, I'm sorry about that in chat, but I'm sure to dev WordPress is tough. Have fun challenge for sure. Thanks, Shell Studio. Yeah, I appreciate you waiting the 10 minutes. You know, trying to keep the bots out of the chat, but hope you had a great stream. So appreciate you stopping by and watching me struggle. Hopefully I'll see you around. All right. So let's talk this out. We need the dude to move, right? On his path. Completely normal. Move on his path. As many paths as he has. So it goes 1, 2, 3. But once it hits the end, we need it to stop and not restart if repeat path does not equal true. Oh yeah, went well. Yeah, gonna get some sleep, but definitely loving the music too. You sounded just like Celine Dion. Did I? Thank you, I appreciate that. Got a new cover song coming out too. I don't know if you know Time to Say Goodbye by Andrea Bocelli. Stay tuned for that one. Have a good night, man. Get some sleep. Yeah, because else it sets to 0. Because that's why I put it down here. This starts the repeat because it sets position 0 again. So I was just trying to put this here. So actually, maybe it's both. Oh yeah, good night. Maybe. Maybe this is it, right? If true equals repeat path, then do this. But this needs to be blocked. That's what it is. This also needs to be blocked. Oh wait. So, if next position, we had it good before. Yeah, sets it to 0 the first time. So if next position is greater than, is less than that, then move him. But once I hit the end with next position, yeah, let's see if this works. I might have to switch it to position and not next position, but I'm not 100%. This could work though. So it should still make him move right now. He should go on his path when I start the game. Yeah, so he's starting his first move. He's gonna move to the left. Okay, he just stops. Alright, he only hit his first path. So yeah, there's definitely something wrong with that. I think, let's try changing this to position. Which might not work at all because technically position starts at that. But I could do less than or equal to. Let's try that. Less than or equal to. So position is less than or equal to that, then move him. And go through the path until... yeah. Something like that. Alright. here. So he should move through his whole path now. He's going down, go to the left. Go to the left. You fucking bitch. Just double check if it compiled. Sometimes it does not compile right away. Go down. Go to the left and then go back up. No, you hate me. Yeah, I don't like the other. Okay. Alright, so what's happening? Position is obviously changing to a point where this is no longer true. So I need it to move until position gets to the end. So yeah, so this is right. Because then position gets reset to 0. And when it gets reset to 0, then what happens is next position turns into 1, which is correct. And then position is 0, it becomes good again and it'll move again if this is repeat. So if path array length minus 1 is greater than position, I know the first time it's not, because the first time it's the same. So that's why the equals was helping it. So my problem is I need it to work the first time without this. How come next position didn't work? Because technically that should be 0. And then once it gets to the end, it turns to 0. Yeah, let's double check this is gonna work actually. Here, right? I just want to get this repeater thing to work, and then I'll crap out. I know it's already past my stream time. I usually stream from 11 to 1 every day except for Sunday. Okay, it's moving. It wasn't moving before. Or maybe it was moving before. It just wasn't repeating. I mean, it was repeating. Okay, so this is definitely what, fucking cache or something? What the hell? Am I not compiling? I'm going to start consoling because this is annoying. Yeah, this doesn't make any sense. Alright, let's double check what the hell's going on here. First of all, let's see what next position is. And then let's see what the path is. No, I know what it is. It's 2. Console log. Path minus 1 is 2. And then let's see what position is. Okay. So this should give me some insight. I know that the path.length minus 1 equals 2. So as long as next position doesn't jump to 2 for some reason, this should work. It should start at 0. So the first one should be 0, 2, and then it should be 1, 0. And then 2, 1. Okay, let's start. So what do we got? We have 0, 2, correct. Not correct. Alright. It's staying 0, 2. So that means that this shit's not working. So it's greater than... Huh. So how the hell did this work before? I guess because I didn't have any logic behind this, I was just letting it go. Okay, so that should work. Shit. Position can't be plus plus. No, no, no. So it goes like this. Oh, so this never gets to be reset to 0 the first time. Shit. Yeah, that's the problem with this. Because I need to let it go once before I add the repeat logic, so I need to set a fucking rule here. First run equals false. And then we got this, and we got let first run equals true. So what's going to happen is it's going to go first run equals true. So I'm going to put or first run, right? And then I'm going to reset first run to false once it runs the first time. And then it'll go through its shit, and then it won't repeat. This should do it. Let's leave the consoles on for now. Alright. So now it should actually run through all three. Am I? Okay. I keep thinking I'm robot for some reason. Because I watched the stream yesterday and I was 100% robot for like the entire ending, which was very unfortunate. Hate how sound always transfers completely fine. Invalid left hand side and assignment expression. Oh. Sorry. You were right, IDE. Thank you, PHP Storm. So it looks like I don't know. Anybody from Seashell Studios stream have any questions or want to say hi? I don't know if you're bots or or if you're real people at this point. But if you stuck around, I appreciate it. Feel free to follow if this is interesting enough to you. Okay. So we got 2 0 1 0, perfect. 2 1. Okay, it worked. It almost worked. The problem is he's not doing his left path. What the fuck? Why is that? It's got 0 2, then it goes 1 0, correct. And then it goes 2 1, and then back to 0 2. 0 2, 0 2, 0 2. Yeah. Why the hell did it not do its left position? That was weird. Let's reset and see what the hell's going on with his run. Because it appears like he didn't actually go through his whole spiel. So let's actually get into here before I start it, so I can see this shit work. Alright, here he is. So now let's see the transition start. So it's gonna go transition 25, 29. See, that's wrong. And then 800. And 25, 29. Weird. So seems like the position didn't change, even though the transition did. Meaning this got hit fine. Oh, I guess I should put this in with him. With the if statement. Yeah, because this should move with it. Either way, the position is correct. So next position goes from 0, 1, right? Or am I tripping? No, 0, 2 was the first one. So the first one's 0, 2. And then it goes 0, 1, 2. And then once it hits 2, once it hits 2, it's greater than... Oh, maybe it's just not hitting its last position because I'm stopping it. So if this is less than or equal to next position. But then if it's a... Yeah. Let's do that. It'll still stop it from going to its next position. I think this is right. Yeah. Alright, let's try again. Now it should move all 3 positions. Okay, so he's going to go down. He should go to the left now. No. Okay, well he's going to the left now. Then it should go back up. And now it should stop. Okay, it worked. Perfect. Repeat. Okay, so now let's set repeat and let's let it go and see what happens. Repeat. And if this works, we're good. Okay, here we go. Now we're going to start it, and it should just repeat over and over. Cool. 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 Alright. Alright, it's not repeating. Let's double check it took. Because it should repeat. Boop. Data repeat true. Oh. I spelled repeat wrong. Haven't you guys ever done that? Spelled repeat wrong? You fucking idiot. There we go. Okay, let's try this again. Okay. I'm frozen again. I know I am. I'm sorry. My computer's a shithead. Okay, let's start again. Now I should repeat. Because I spelled repeat correctly. Good. Still weird that it moves like that. It's not supposed to do that. Oh, look at that. 1, 2, 3. Now it's repeating. Beautiful. Okay, let's uncheck it just to double check that that still works. And we'll let him go ahead on his journey. Now that I unchecked repeat, he should go through his path once, which it's on a set interval of 2 seconds, so I'm gonna have to change that as well. I want it to be dynamic actually, how long the interval is. Shit, it's still repeating. Why? Why are you repeating? Repeating does not exist for you. Come on, dude. All I did was spell it correctly. Oh, it still says true. What the fuck? I unchecked it though. Oh, is it because it exists in the database at all? Doesn't care about the value? That's stupid. I guess that's kind of what I did. If repeat, what the fuck does repeat equal? When it's set. I think it's on. I think it, oh shit. Stop, 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 stop. Stop, stop. Okay. Yeah, I think it just equals fucking, let's actually reset. Boo. Let's just check here. Okay, on. Okay, that's what I thought. So if on equals repeat. Okay, cool. Which, shit, it shouldn't be on right now. Right? Is it not saving? Or do I not know how to save it? Shit, it's not saving off. Hold on. That's not good. Okay, so we got repeat equals on. Sure. Checked. True. Right. Wait, what? This can't be right. What the hell? What the hell? What the hell? What am I doing? Why is this like this? I had this for breakable too? And collectible. What the hell? I can't just put a random true. There we go. Why were those working? That's fucking weird. Display true. Wait, what? Current display. Display is an optional, whether to echo or just return the string. Okay, well, why am I echoing it then? If I have it set to true. Come on, me. Stop being dumb. Okay. Let's try this again. What do we got going on? Repeat is selected. Why can't I uncheck you? Let's double check the save function. Here's the check. We have enemy. Oh, that's the enemy. Okay, we have explore, repeat, repeat, repeat. Okay. Well, what the fuck is it setting to? Let's go back to post meta. Select the data. Let's check the most recent. Okay, repeat is on. Collectible on. It's definitely not a collectible, so. But it looks like he's set as a collectible for some reason. Or someone is, I guess. Okay, boom. Boom. How come I can't uncheck you? He is not changing. Filter input. Input's there. It's obviously still on even though I unchecked it. I feel like I ran into an issue like this before. Saving. Checkbox in WordPress. Meta. box. Can't uncheck. Yeah, it's kind of an old way of doing it, so let's see. Bobbity bop, boopity beep. Okay, first create the checkbox. Doo doo doo. Boop boop boop. Check equals check. Cool, cool, cool. Next, saving. So saving is post. Huh. There's no way that this is it. If equals true. Cannot save checkbox mailbox from custom field. Let's double check. What the fuck am I doing wrong? So this guy says we got the nonce field, whatever is checked, then checked, value equals 1. How are you saving it though? You get in the post equals 1. This isn't right though, because checked equals on. Yeah, that's kind of weird. I know it saves as on, but I assumed it would save as empty otherwise. That's why I'm confused. Let's see if I can check what it saves as. I don't think this would be a problem. It hasn't been a problem. But I guess I never tried unchecking breakable and collectible. So it's possible those are also in the same boat, which I guarantee they are. Yeah, right, it died on me because it's trying to load it. Okay. So what I'm gonna do, I really need to know what this is, but I'll do on equals repeat. So I'll save it as a true or false, right? And then here I'll put true. Right. And then we'll see what that looks like. Because by default it'll be off. I mean, when I start it, because it's technically on in the database. Yeah, so now if I click this and I save it, it should be true in the database. Yeah, so we got a 1. So now if I uncheck it, it should not be 1. Nah, see, it doesn't care. It doesn't see that it's unchecked. Oof. Check. Check. Box in WordPress custom field. All right, Poop Jr.
PJR just followed.
Welcome. If you have the patience to to stick around for 10 minutes. And then you'll be able to talk to me. I'm just trying to troubleshoot this damn checkbox custom field. I don't remember. Here, this is... I might have to pull out another plugin I worked on. Okay. Yeah, this isn't gonna work. So what do I got available? What kind of code do I have available to me? Let's get into GitHub real quick. Because I know I've done checkboxes. And I know for a fact in the share buttons plugin, we'll go into the portfolio. There's minute controls in here. And let's double check minute controls. How am I saving checkboxes here? A boop boop boop. Ba-doop doop doop. I know I save it as option. No. Where's the post meta saves? Update list. This is an Ajax call. No. Is box checked? Helper function to determine whether to check box or not. Shit. Is it that complex? No, this is just checking options. Oh yeah. This is just... yeah, that's right. Okay, so where do I get into the save post shit? I have thank you scripts. I have get the excerpt. What the fuck? My new control. I don't have a fucking save post in here? No? How am I doing this? Post meta. Wait, what the hell? I thought my new control was inside of a meta box. Oh yeah, here's a meta box right here. Share this meta box. It's a function. Take me there. Wait, what? Okay. Yeah. But how am I saving off? Oh shit. Oh, I'm stupid. I swear, I do an Ajax call when I check the box, don't I? I just cheap out. Yeah, see, Metabox.js. Son of a bitch. On click. Update the list. Yeah, I just do a goddamn Ajax call. Alright, where else do I use a damn checkbox? Alright, this is stupid. Why you no work checkbox? Okay, well if checkbox isn't gonna work, we're gonna use a radio. Because at least I can set the value then. Input, class, fucking repeat, type equals radio, name equals explore repeat, ID equals explore repeat. Alright. And then we'll put the same shit here. And we'll make the value yes or no. So this will be yes. This will be no. And we'll put value equals yes. And value equals no. And then we'll change this to radio. Cool. Let's fix this as well. Alright, so this should be pretty solid now. And then let's just put a quick yes. No. Whatever. We'll just make it quick. So now, in the saving portion, we'll put yes. Actually, we'll just do this, because I wanted to check either one. And then, on the front end, it's going to be yes. Okay. Let's try this bullshit now. Back to the admin. So repeat will be empty. Alright. I forgot how shitty styled radios are. Okay, so I could default it to yes or no, but I don't care. So we'll do yes. Click. This should save as yes. Let's double check. It does. So now on the front end, well, he's already repeating, but when I refresh, he should repeat now. Okay. Yeah, okay. Cool. Cool. Now go back down. Alright. And now when I click no, boop, it should save as no. Correct. And now he shouldn't repeat. Though this now makes me think that none of my checkboxes work. So I'm going to change them all to radios. Do your shit. Timeout right there. Go to your next spot. Go to that spot. Go to that spot. And stop. Cool. We did it. Solid. By the way, yo, what up, man? You just caught me finishing the repeat functionality of my NPC auto path moving. You also caught me at the end of the stream. It's about 1:40 and I am ready to head out. But got my first raid today. That was pretty good. And we got who's on? I don't know a lot of these names. Cool, man. Nah, don't worry about it. I'm glad you jumped on. Yeah, this is working out. Yeah, because this is going to be some of the functionality I use for the first level. You know, because I'm going to be doing a cutscene with the boss, and he's going to talk to me, and then he's going to walk to his office. So I needed a way to move NPCs on a predefined path. So now I created this where I can do multi-points on the map, and they can move wherever they want, and I can either repeat that path so they can just walk back and forth, or I can, you know, just set to do boop 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 and then they finish. So yeah, next I'm gonna have to add the functionality for triggering. Right now it triggers when you start the game, but I want it to trigger like either at the end of a cutscene or when you walk into a trigger point. So I'm gonna need a couple different trigger points. Yeah, and eventually I'm gonna upgrade it to where you control the speed of their movement between paths. So like you can like boop boop boop, and you can like run away really fast or something. You know what I mean? It can get really intricate. So I can set up scenes really well. I can do boss things as well. Yeah. Quick question. What's up? And you forgot password on the login form on the site. Is there a forgot password? Let's see. There should be. I probably just don't have a link on the login form for it. Join now. I guess I don't have that set up. I know it exists though. What's the forgot password URL WordPress? Well, that's not what I wanted. What's the general forgot password URL? Whatever. I can reset it for you. You want me to reset your password? We can do it live. Yeah, right now forgot password is hit me up. You must watch my stream to reset your password. Let's go, users. You want the production reset, right? Oh, you want to use your new email? Okay. Yeah, I could. I have it right here. Start from scratch. That works too. I'll go ahead and reset your password anyways. Feel free to use that one too. But yeah, you're right. I actually need to add a link to forgot password. I haven't set that up. So, smart. I'll add it to the board. Board of shit I have to do. But alright. Michael, always a pleasure. I'm gonna